So the public has been clamoring to hear about William Glasser. They was like, man, you talk about William Glasser all the time. And we've got to know who this William Glasser is. So tell us about him. Okay. First of all, he's dead. Okay, so William Glasser is dead. He died in 2013, August 23. He was 88 years old, died in L.A. And that's irrelevant, actually, because when it comes to why he's important, it's because of his ideas. There is William Glasser therapists all throughout the country. There was one in Lexington that I had called, and they said that they would charge $150 per hour for a session, and then $250 per hour to be an expert witness in court. So that's a shit ton of money, you know. And the therapist, do they care about you? Do they really care about you? It seems like a fake relationship. It's like a buy a friend, right? I'll be your friend for $150 bucks an hour. So, anyways, that's what he's known for. It's called reality therapy and choice theory. Choice theory is his theory, and then reality therapy and classroom meetings and a lot of things come out of his choice theory. So choice theory is his idea, and he's kind of like L. Ron Hubbard, only he is, I don't know, I want to say not insane. I don't know about L. Ron Hubbard. Everybody talks, pretty bad about him, but L. Ron Hubbard hates the psychiatric industry. He hates it. And there's all these disorders. It's almost as if, some psychiatrists might even be making normal human behavior a disorder. And so L. Ron Hubbard, I heard one time he got diagnosed or something, and he just said, fuck everybody, all the psychiatrists. So I think there are some clinically, disorders that people need their help with. But I also believe that they could be over-diagnosing ADHD, for example, if I think it's an actual natural aversion to oppression. You can't sit in your seat because, someone's looming over you, tell you do this, do that. And so this is a video actually that I want to come back to. So I'm going to start straight off with what his choice theory is. There are 10 axioms to his choice theory. So, number one, the only person whose behavior we can control is our own. We can only control our own behavior. In fact, he says a lot of frustration comes with when we try to control other people's behavior. Get that out of your brain. You're not going to control anybody else's behavior but your own. You can change how you react to someone else's behavior, and we all have a will to power, so we all kind of want to, control other people's behavior, but that's not cool. Nobody wants to be, a slave to someone else, and so therefore it's only your behavior, just your behavior, that we can control. That's his number one axiom of choice theory. Number two, all we can give another person is information. Okay, so that's actually a good friend. Here's information, information, information. Number three, all long-lasting psychological problems are relationship problems. Now, this is just one part of it that I've read somewhere, but it actually struck me as being true, that a lot of the issues that people have is their inability to communicate with somebody that they love. And I feel like that's probably been, most of my problems throughout my adult life has been, it feels like that I just love people way too much who doesn't, even care one iota for me. And that's a problem. So, number four, the problem relationship is always part of our present life. The problem relationship is always part of our present life. I'm not sure exactly what that even means. The problem relationship is always part of our present life. So there's always a problem relationship. It's always going to be there, and so I guess we either ignore it, we can't do nothing about it, so we just kind of move on, accept the inevitable. I'm not for sure. Number five, what happened in the past has everything to do with what we are today, but we can only satisfy our basic needs right now and plan to continue satisfying them in the future. And he's actually got a short list of all of our basic human needs, which I'll go back to. This is at the top of Wikipedia, so I just, Wikipedia, you could just read it yourself if you don't want, some Kentucky man reading all this shit to you. Just read it yourself. But I mean, I remember actually just kind of coming across this, and really the only person whose behavior we can control is our own. I'm like, oh wow, my mind's blown. That's so smart. His choice theory actually applies to Sudbury schools, Sudbury model schools. My favorite. It's a democratic model for schools, and it's my favorite alternative education out there. You cannot get any better than Sudbury model schools. It's cheaper, it's better, it's Jean-Jacques Rousseau. It enhances the goodness that's in with us, and it, I couldn't believe that they were actually connected. I don't know if Sudbury model schools uses the choice theory ideas, or if they are just sort of coincidentally linked, but it's right here in Wikipedia, so it's got to be true, right? So don't worry about the past. You can only figure out what's going on right now and the future. So we have, we need love and survival needs, food, water, clothing. We need that now. We're going to need that in the future. So we need to work on those things. We can only satisfy our needs by satisfying the pictures in our quality world. So we got to find out what he means by the quality world and the pictures. But I'm thinking the pictures in your mind, in your brain, you can only satisfy those. I'm guessing. All we do is behave. All we do is behave. That's all we do. Which is actually incredible. So when we're typing, when we're reading, I mean, it seems like you're doing nothing sleeping, but I guess he's saying that everything is behavior, and so therefore, I don't know how we apply that. All behavior is total behavior, and it's made up of 4 components: acting, thinking, feeling, and physiology. All total behavior is chosen, but we only have direct control over the acting and thinking components. We only control our feeling and physiology indirectly through how we choose to act and think. That's actually pretty phenomenal. So let's read that again. Number 9, all total behavior is chosen, but we only have direct control over the acting and thinking components. So thinking, I guess, I don't know if you could really control your thoughts. Thoughts just kind of, come and go, but you can sort of put material in front of you, so that's the stuff that you're thinking about, and then we do control our behavior. And then it says our feeling and our physiology, so that's sort of like our inner makeup and what our emotions are. We can only indirectly choose those, so that's sort of, almost feels like the id and ergo and, some of the Freud stuff. So 10, all total behavior is designated by verbs and named by the part that is most recognizable. All total behavior is designated by verbs and named by the part that is most recognizable. So that's, I guess there's plenty of parts to behavior and action, and that's what that is trying to say. So those are the 10 axioms of choice theory. From that, we can get reality therapy. And some people's like, oh, you need a dose of reality, and that's not exactly right. The way I take reality therapy, what the name is, if you're being diagnosed with anything, here's a good example. If anybody was to diagnose me with, if there's one disorder that I will claim, it would be non-compliance disorder. There is a disorder called non-compliance disorder, and they're being diagnosing kids with this. Well, Noam Chomsky, I just read a quote by Noam Chomsky, and he says, I just always thought that I was supposed to question everything. I never knew that there was an alternative. Of course you're supposed to question everything. Of course, question everything. And so someone who questions authority, someone who believes that they have freedom and that freedom is a part of themselves, therefore it makes them human, makes them authentic people. That is a necessary precondition just to have life, freedom. You've got to have freedom just to be a human being. And so that's to think that somebody who isn't compliant to just some Nazi dictator, fucking totalitarian prick, hey, I'm the boss of you, shut the fuck up. I don't like how you're talking to me. Why don't you kiss my ass? Oh, you got non-compliant disorder. No, I just have aversion to asshole disorder. That's really what that is. And I told you, to kiss my ass. You got non-compliant disorder yourself. I told you to kiss my ass. Did you do it? No, you didn't. Non-compliant disorder. And so that's actually a pretty good slam on the non-compliant disorder. I always thought it was a very rude thing. There's like a couple things that's very rude with English, with language. You know, we can tell stories, we can tell jokes, but then eventually somebody says, "Hey, grab me that thing." It's like, motherfucker, what the fuck? Like, fuck you. You grab it yourself. And you know, it's like I had to justify it. It's like, ooh, why are you so mad about orders? What do you mean? I'm not anybody's slave, and if somebody just wants to order me around, I have to put up with that. I don't want to do that. And so I feel like the best retort to something like that is to kiss my ass. Pick that thing up, kiss my ass. You know, I'm telling you what to do. You know, you want to do what I just told you to do, kiss my ass, and I might think about doing that. Well, fuck you. No, fuck you. Fuck you for thinking that I was supposed to be your bitch. Fuck you for thinking I was supposed to be your slave. And, you know, kiss my ass. If that's, you want to give me an order, there's an order for you. Kiss my ass. So, I'm going to read them off real quick. Again, the only person whose behavior we can control is our own. Number 1, all we can give another person is information. Number 2, all long-lasting psychological problems are relationship problems. Number 3, number 4, the problem relationship is always part of our present life. Number 5, what happened in the past has everything to do with what we are today, but we can only satisfy our basic needs right now and plan to continue satisfying them in the future. Number 6, we can only satisfy our needs by satisfying the pictures in our quality world. Number 7, all we do is behave. Number 8, all behavior is total behavior and is made up of 4 components: acting, thinking, feeling, and physiology. All total behavior is chosen, but we only have direct control over the acting and thinking components. We can only control our feeling and physiology indirectly through how we choose to act and think. And number 10, all total behavior is designated by verbs and named by the part that is most recognizable. I want to read a couple quotes, and then actually I think this is a good, quick, short video for who William Glasser is and his choice theory. Unfortunately, he's dead. You know, he died 2 years ago. He's not talked about enough. I have a Facebook group, Stop the Oppression. It all comes from William Glasser. Another quote that I came by, somebody just posted on Facebook, and thank God that they did. They said, before you diagnose yourself with low self-esteem, make sure you're not just surrounded by a bunch of assholes. So let me say that again more clearly. Before you diagnose yourself with low self-esteem, before you think, oh man, I got low self-esteem, I don't know what to do, and I'm a little depressed, make sure you're not surrounded by a bunch of assholes. If you're surrounded by a bunch of assholes, a bunch of controlling oppressor, maybe even mean, insulting fucking pricks, then you might feel down on yourself, but it's not you, it's the people that you surrounded yourself with. They got the fucking issue, they got the problem, and so you kind of have to pull yourself up out of it. So with all the disorders that are out there, I think you could pick and choose a bunch of different ones. I think there's another one that I think I could apply to myself. I don't know. If I come up with it, I'll do it in the next video. But if we are diagnosing normal human behavior with disorders, then that is a problem. That's a major fucking problem. That's not very good. You can't call people crazy and, you know, just dope them up with a bunch of pills and say that you're actually fixing the problem. You're masking the problem. And if it's normal human behavior, then we need to figure out how to, you know, how can we all have a non-compliance disorder and get along? If we all want to be our own person and none of us wants to be slaves, we all want to be free, well, how do we all get along? I mean, that's true anyways, you know, that's civilization. We all want to be fucking free. The revolution was fought for that. We abolished slavery. We wanted freedom. And unless, you know, we get paid for it, wage slavery, we choose a contract, well, okay, fine, I'll do this hours or whatever, and you rent your body out. That we all want to be free, and so therefore, how do we figure that out? And we should get a dose of reality. Instead of going to the books and getting diagnosed with disorders and being doped up, let's just talk about reality. Let's talk about what is real, what are we trying to do here? Okay? It's another thing with public education. You got the dictator and the masses, and the dictator just knows everything. What if the dictator's a douchebag? You got to listen to what the fucking douchebag says. So reality therapy is sort of, I think that with reality therapy, you probably can knock out 95% of the disorders that have been diagnosed. That's what William Glasser says. He once said, maybe I am a little bit naive, but my tactics have worked with 90 to 95% of the people. And I believe that. If, ADHD, that's a kid being a kid. Oh my God, he won't sit still. He wants to run around and play all the time. That's a kid being a kid. And are you boring as shit and yelling at them and telling them to get, compliant? Well, fuck you. I can't even sit still when I got someone looming over you, just standing over you like, what are you doing? Do this, do that. Man, fuck off, man. I want to, play with my blocks or whatever. So we all need let's just get in tune with reality. Non-compliance disorder. It's not a fucking disorder. That's not a disease. There's nothing wrong with you. If someone diagnoses you with non-compliance disorder, tell that person to fuck off and pull your kid out of school and homeschool them or get them some quality schools, William Glasser quality schools or Sudbury model schools. The hierarchical oppression, the way that American schools are set up today, they're outdated. They're stupid, and I think we do much better jobs. So. William Glasser, developer of reality therapy and choice theory, born May 11th, 1925, Cleveland, Ohio. He's an American. California State University, that's where he graduated. And Johnny Masters, straight out Grundy. Peace.